Yes. Good morning. Let your light so shine among men that they see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. That's my verse of the day. I did notice that when I held the phone with my other hand, couldn't see me. Cut off the top of my head. Funny thing is, yesterday's video, day 6's video, I'm gonna do it again. Cut off my head. One dislike. They watched it for 30 seconds or 54 seconds. I don't know. Less than a minute. And they said, nope. Oh well. Another interesting thing happened yesterday. I live in a small village, and I took my walk yesterday, and then I was sitting down after I made breakfast and all that, and I looked on Facebook briefly, and oh, they're getting ready for Halloween. I looked on Facebook and there was a woman. Hey, a man with a black dog and a black coat. I don't know if that was me. Gray, but walking the dog without the leash. And that sparked a huge amount of comments, like a lot of feelings. Everybody's in their feelings. Like, it's the law. Call the cops. Now, I don't think walking the dog without a leash is that controversial compared to traveling without a license, but it is the same realm, policy and code. It's a busy morning. Sit. Please sit. Here. Get it. Stay. You want another one? Let's go across. Might get interrupted again. This time I'm not gonna stop it. Anyways, there was just 110 or more comments on this thing. I didn't bother piping up. What good is it gonna do in the middle of the mob? A couple of men piped up and talked about how leave them alone, mind your own business. They were not treated with kindness, but because they were called rude. I think rude is subjective. I could be wrong, but some people's rude is another person's kindness. this way. But today, just, where you going? One day closer to having an interaction. There's plenty of people, like I said, called the cops, so now whether or not the cops did anything about it, that's a different story. Not sure they would, but they could. And, you know, I welcome that interaction. Not every day do I welcome it. But I am ready for it. If it happens, when it happens. Some days I could care less. I'm like in a super happy mood. Other days I'm like, oh fuck. My heart starts racing. Like, I'm not ready for this. I'm gonna go backwards today. Wait, let's go backwards today. Dark Park. But I have to keep walking my dog without a leash. Now, if these people want to slave me up for walking my dog. Haven't done anything. My dog hasn't caused any issues. But just like most laws, quote unquote, they're there as like pre-crime, like the Minority Report, you know, stopping the crime before it happens. For safety. For safety. Although I don't feel very safe. Not at all. But I don't care. Pretty much always the way you feel when you're not going with the crowd. But I have to maintain the loving response. You know, speak the truth in love. Be prepared to always give an answer for the faith, the hope that lies within you. With gentleness and respect. Share the truth in love. But these people never say anything to me on the street. That's dangerous, I think. That's my suggestion. The only real comment I had was for this woman who was complaining of rude comments. And I said, what were you expecting to happen? You aired your feelings out in a public forum. Should you have not expected this? Especially now. People are so divided. And I said at the end of my comment, if you would have just talked to the guy, wouldn't you think you would have had a better outcome? Just be like, hey, see, your dog's not on a leash. Makes me feel some way. Or just hi, you know? Hi, you're awesome. No hard feelings. I'm not doing this to scare anyone. My dog isn't vicious. That's okay. And that wasn't really greeted well. Missed the point, never answered the question about talking directly to the person you have an issue with. But I get that. And there was a point in my history where instead of talking with the neighbor about being too loud like a man, I called another man to handle my issues. Like a punk ass bitch. And I can't say that I would never do that, I don't know. But I'm at the point where I am not to do that. Right? Like, strive to speak the truth in love and act it. Live the truth. Whole bridge is shaking. This is a pretty little spot. The river's flowing pretty good, or the creek is all runoff. But today is a new day. Yesterday is done. Some days I'd like yesterday to come back, but today's a new day. Got a job to do, and if for some reason can't make it happen, I'll move that to a different day. Supposed to be working with my uncle. Never done that before. That's a little nerve-wracking. Only because this particular job I'm not super confident with. It's something that I haven't really tackled before. So I expect to get myself in a little bit of trouble. But nothing we can't handle. It's just having the proper parts, being able to get them. I called him and left him a message this morning. He said he wakes up at 4:30. I'm not so sure that happened. So I still am recording. So he hasn't called me. I think it would stop the recording. I mean, the dang alarm does. I don't have any alarms set for today. Come on, boy. We got the city car. You know, deep down, I don't want the job to go through today. I want to move it to Thursday and delay this. But not really. I mean, deep down, I just want the job to be done and over with. So I do hope that he can fit materials in the car if we gotta go get them. Otherwise, I gotta wait for it to be delivered. That's stressful. But honestly, Thursday, there's nothing on the calendar. So I got plenty of stuff to do. Let's go this way. Just going in reverse today. Never done this before. Pretty early yet. I mean, there's leash laws, but it's actually a statute, a leash statute. And it doesn't apply to men or women. In the wording, it said the people. And the crazy thing is, it said that pet ownership or animal ownership is a privilege. And you got to register your animal like a car. Which is nonsense. I'm sure my wife registered my dog because she follows that, but as Paul Enslaved has said, these people have never met a policy or statute or code they didn't want to follow. Never saw a sign they didn't want to bend over for. It's pretty funny. Just waved at Mr. Kizaleski. This man is someone I grew up around. Didn't grow up around here, he just lives in the same city as me. Oh, my arms. This way. Fucking tired. I don't know if this is gonna work. How about like that? Does that work? Halloween's tomorrow, so that's fun. Israel's aggressing against these people. That's some more excitement. More news. World stage bullshit. I think people just need to find something for themselves to do. Have so much time to sit around and bitch and gossip about all sorts of bullshit. Man walking his dog. You aren't walking your damn dog, so leave me alone. No threat. This dog, does the man have a dog? Yo, Cletus. Let's get out of the road. This way. Good boy. Busy week. Trying to maybe think of a different way to do these videos. If I had enough people to be able to do a live, I think that's what I would do. Have like a conversation while I'm walking. Seems more interesting than just walking by myself, talking to a camera. And also I've considered doing like where I wait a little bit at the beginning of my video, my walk, before I start the camera, so the video's not as long. Monday's always busy. People bustling and hustling, getting to work on time. And there's me, lazy sack of shit. Old train station. This way. But for sure though, people, like I'm too fat for this. I'm already too tired, out of breath, can't talk. Maybe that's the ticket. Start the video, and then by the time I'm like huffing and puffing and dying because I'm so fat, that's when I turn it off. Until next time, folks. This is interesting. I waved at John, or John Sr. I don't think I've ever seen him at his house. The only reason I knew they were there is I saw their son with his Down syndrome out front on like a swing or something. And I said hi to him, but I just kept walking because I'm on my walk. And like, no kidding. now I'm just the weird guy who was waving at him through the window. I think after I waved at him, he like closed his curtains or some shit. I didn't really pay attention, but that's what he looked like. He was, what are you doing? Cletus. Cletus. Yo, Cletus. What do you smell? You smell drugs? Bet you there's drugs there. You want a treat? Oh, you gotta sit. You gotta sit. Hey, Cleet. Let's go across first. Come on. Fucking dog. Why you gotta stop in the middle of the street? Sniff the roadkill? What'd you have some of it? You lick the blood? It's been there forever. I'm sure that ain't good for you. Oh well, there's a dog. I'm excited for interaction. And that's why I keep doing it. Not only that, but also Cletus, like, needs to be able to run around. Does me no good to have him strapped on a fucking leash. And he needs it for his well-being. He's trapped in the backyard. I mean, we do have a fenced-in yard, but it isn't that big for this boy, who's a border collie mixed with golden doodle. It's like a high motor doggy dog. But let's see, what else? Discipline. Waking up every morning and doing this has brought some weird thoughts, right? But like, oh, what if something happens to my leg? What if I end up in the hospital? Because I'm pretty sure I got a hernia because of all my shit eating. And also I was doing some research on hernias and how they're like the allopathic way of dealing with them is essentially surgery and putting some sort of mesh in there to keep it from happening, but essentially it happened again somewhere else. Because you're not actually solving the problem, why it happened, you know? So I was looking up a more holistic approach. Cletus. Cletus. What are you doing? Yo, Cleet. He's doing his own thing. Jerk. I should put him on a leash. Hey! Come here, boy. Come here, good boy. Yeah. You listen to me. You do. Hey, where you going? Come here. Come here, good boy. Oh yeah, these are good puppers. The allopathic, the more holistic approach is a more mindful approach and a physical. So they claim that the hernia is caused by you holding things in and like that energy in, and it's like it stays there. And I believe it also talks about diet, which a lot of times can be fed by those feelings that you are unresolved, that you hold inside, and a sense of never really relaxing is also another reason. Always being pent up, like a tight ass. So we talked about doing pelvic floor work. I mean, my particular one is my belly button, so that's sort of a weak area. But when I worked out all the time and still had crappy diet, never happened. And I guess it wasn't a completely crappy diet, but the inflammation of that intestinal tract causes it to get too big for where it's at. Not to mention what other tissue is in the way, and it forces it places it shouldn't go. And that, weak abdominal muscles can play a role. But if I look at two people that I know who have had hernia surgery, one was my dad, so apple doesn't fall too far from the tree there, especially when it comes to how I handle conflict, just overall practices, industry, social life. Probably why it took so long to make this damn video. And the other was a guy I did work for who had some issues living with his mom, like physical labor, a lot of built up frustrations and resentment, and like just not at peace in a sense. Like something happened and it was like immediately the worst thing. It's not going to work, and I certainly can have those, like especially with this job today. Like, oh man, it's a boiler, it's not going to work. But if I got to go back there tomorrow, it ain't the end of the world. It's not the middle of winter yet. I'm sure if I do them one at a time, that might be the best cause of action. Although I'd hate to pump the boiler up again and have to drain it twice. But my uncle, he handles things a little differently. Drinks. He has issues too. He's super nice. It reminds me of my buddy Jeff, who is kind of the same way. I swear I was like talking to the same person on the phone the other day. So you build that stuff up and don't have a practice to release it. I can see why there'd be an issue. And you know, I know it. I know that's there. And I still don't stop. Let's go, go, go. And on the weekends, it's like, there's no stopping. You're keeping house, I'm doing yard work, preparing for the winter, have gatherings that I'm attending, and I'm typically not very outspoken, socially not the center of center of attention. The confidence not there. And it took me forever just to put a camera in my face. Not that anybody wants it, but my goal with this was to have a goal, set the goal, follow through with the goal, and have an outlet that held me accountable. There's no denying when I miss a day. I don't have a video. So, man, surprised I haven't got a phone call yet. Oh well. This way. Then the other reason, there's multiples, but was to have a record of me walking my dog without a leash. If any interactions happen, there'd be video. And the third is that this is trackable, experiential. I can measure it. If I'm having more impressions, if like the thumbnail gets more people to click through, if how I start the video changes the way the time that people spend looking at it. But ultimately it's just a vlog documenting my life and what's going through my head. And if I want to go back, I can. But it also puts my thoughts and convictions on record. Like, I'm a living soul. I have a body. I have a person. I have a citizen. These things are not physical. They're on paper. So I am not subject to statute, policy, and code. There is no jurisdiction by which I must be constrained. I have no authority outside of my conscience. God Almighty, the Father in heaven, the maker of heaven and earth. Stay away. Stay away from the road. Here's the way. This is my 7th day. 1 week. 3 more to go. Of course, I started in October, so it's like not warm. It's like freezing today. Come here. Okay. They're going. I'm just a guy walking the streets with his dog. Come on. We're going home. Let's go home. Yo, bro. Your sniffer's on high alert, huh? Cletus. Come here, boy. Come on. Come on. What are you doing to me? Huh? What are you doing to me? Wanted to take a long walk today, but I got places to be, things to figure out. I really want to alter my plans. So that I'm more prepared. But who am I that the Lord of all the earth? Song's stuck in my head. You know. Things from the past that you gotta unlearn. Stop reinforcing. Make new pathways. Not say things that are negative. Because today's going to be a good day. It is a good day. Already. This way. Hey. Today is the day he has made. I will rejoice. Cletus. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Come here, man. Come here. Right here. Stay. Right here. Right here. Come on. Right here. Stay. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Stay. Don't go too far. Our time's almost up. Follow that still small voice within you. Hold every thought captive. Let's go. Jerk off. Jerk. What a big house. It's freaking beautiful. So brings today to an end. Be well. And let the peace that passes all understanding guard your hearts and your minds through Christ Jesus. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I'm not really concerned with people's notions about the faith, about how it's expressed, about Christianity. Ultimately, it's not causing me to cause loss, injury, or harm. It has a purpose. It's a practice. It's a way of thinking. Points to greater principles. That we are to follow. This way. It's really the way, or is a way to the way, for you to hold fast to that which is good and discard the rest. So run that race with fear and trembling. Cross that finish line. Don't worry what other people are telling you. Listen to them. Look at yourself and determine whether or not they have a point. Let it go. Because other perspectives are valuable. As I've learned, ignoring other perspectives is a way to be isolated and delusional. And the ones that you want, that make your stomach turn, or make you cringe the most, are probably ones you need to look at the most. Have a good day, folks. Love you. God bless. Goodbye.